5.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another video by your ultimate fave. Now if you are new here today, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and for all my returning subscribers, I'm Tisby. Hey sana, kininkisela fendi hele dag. Like from 8 to 8. But anyway, we're still keeping it back. Now, if you are new here, make sure to click the subscribe button, and for all my returning subscribers, welcome to another video by your fave. Now, guys, I know that I obviously didn't give you guys the best of me throughout Vlogtober, so I've decided to extend Vlogtober and make a Vlogvember, because you can do whatever you want when you're a 2-time award-winning winner. Let's get it. So, like guys, I could even start cramping. Somebody play J Squad. Like every single time my dad calls me, I go, Naledi, 2-time SASMA award winner Mallela. Hello? You know what I mean? Like my parents need to check that tea. But anyway, guys, I'm a SASMA award winner. Like, so there. You guys, like, don't even come at me sideways. Like, I'm award-winning. You understand? Now, I get what Ino Morolong was saying about award-winning club hosts. I get it now. You just move different when you win awards. But anyway, guys, welcome back to another video. I've decided to obviously extend our Vlogtober into Vlogvember. So I'm going to be releasing lots of content throughout the November month, which is my birthday month. However, I thought that I should do this TV recap, which was highly requested, but I had so many reservations about doing TV recaps, you know what I mean? But in regards to this particular one, it took episode 11. It took 11 episodes for me to do a recap, and that should tell you what you need to know, okay? So judging by the title of the video, I'm going to be doing a TV recap of This Body Works For Me Season 2. And I'm only doing it because I saw the 5 trending on Twitter and then I watched the episodes. But anyway, you guys know how we do whenever we do a TV recap, we do like a character breakdown. But for this particular TV recap, I'm not going to do much of a character breakdown because I've already done a character breakdown of the previous characters from season 1. So all I'm going to do is just kind of touch on the different characters from season 2, because we've got 2 new characters, if I'm not mistaken. That's Dion and Lebu, right? Alright, okay, without rambling too much, of which I've already done, let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to say season 2 of This Body Works For Me sucked. Oh, it took so much out of me to say that. It took the strength of Job. Like, it wasn't giving for a multitude of reasons. Now, when season 2 came out of This Body Works For Me, I was really excited because obviously from the reunion of season 1, where we could already tell that the 2 besties, that being Wandy and Oli, were at odds. They were at loggerheads, and also the fact that Primadonna wasn't also getting along with Wandy at that time. That was an explosive reunion. So now with that reunion, I was expecting obviously the drama from season 1 to kind of unfold onto season 2. However, I don't know, man, there were just a lot of off-putting moments about season 2, but we'll touch on that. But let's touch on the fact that Oli did not return. I was a little bit gutted at the fact that Oli didn't return. I mean, she made a small little appearance, and that was at the very beginning. So when the show actually did come out and it did air season 2, I obviously jumped onto it. I really enjoyed season 1, guys. And I just want to make this disclaimer. I feel like, I know that a lot of people have their reservations about the element of the show This Body Works For Me, but I think essentially the premise of the show is to kind of showcase their real lives, the lives of sex workers, because sex work is work, right? So I don't really want anybody in the comments kind of sending derogatory comments or kind of saying, hey, they should actually find jobs and stuff. They have jobs. It's sex work, right? So I don't want any derogatory comments. You will catch a block for that. I did realize that when season 2 kind of aired, everybody was on that whole tip of no, they should be finding proper work and whatever. And guys, I think that's the whole premise of the show, to showcase that they have real lives outside of their actual jobs. But season 2 kind of took off with Oli not being part of the show, and she mentioned that Wandy was suing her, right? And I want to jump into that one because I think it's quite interesting, considering that I've worked with other content creators and I get where Wandy's coming from, but it's also a little bit tricky here, right? Let's quickly just dive into that one. Now, I've worked with other YouTubers, and with other YouTubers that I've worked with, I've had to sign release forms. And now in signing release forms, what that basically does, it relinquishes my right to have some sort of, voice over the editing, some sort of, monetary, I basically relinquish all my rights to whatever profits they make, however they decide to edit it, and should they decide to profit this and televise it, or any other riffraff. That's the whole point of a release form. That's why I've also noticed that on Channel O and stuff like that, whenever they have people they interview and stuff, they sign release forms, because those release forms protect the channel, the brand, or whoever's in question from having people sue them for using their content. You know what I mean? So the first 2 episodes started off with Xoli basically breaking down why Wandy is suing her, right? And to my understanding of which, when I check season 1, whatever Xoli is saying still checks out, because in season 1, Wandy and Xoli obviously became friends, or maybe they were friends prior to the show starting, but maybe that's where the friendship was cemented. But Wandy reached out to Xoli to ask Xoli to do a collab, obviously to grow her following. I think she wanted to branch out into OnlyFans because she was not there yet. Or I think she was in that space, but Xoli was obviously like the head girl of OnlyFans at the time. I mean, she was doing podcasts with MacG. She was really taking off, making 100K a month. So obviously you want to collaborate with people that have a vast following to obviously up your income. So in season 1, Wandy reached out to Xoli and said, hey, listen, let's do a collab. Let's do like a sex tape, whatever the case may be. Xoli said, I bet, that's cool. They did the sex tape, and now Wandy's suing her for 500 grand. First and foremost, Wandy, auna tanki. Seriously, like, and I mean that with all the respect in the world. Don't get me wrong, I love Wandy. I loved her from season 1. Mara Wandy, auna tanki. Like, you can't reach out to someone and say, hey, I want to collaborate with you. These are things that they should have, settled on way before the video was shot. So I now don't know whether Xoli made her sign forms or whatever the case may be, but I know for a fact, to a certain degree, Wandy never spoke about money. I think to my understanding, what I saw from season 1, or what I recall, was that Wandy wanted to collaborate with Xoli from a exposure point of view. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like any of it had to do with her cutting money down, splitting it down the middle, because why would she? At the end of the day, let me give you an example. I've worked with other YouTubers. When I work with other YouTubers on their concepts, on their videos and stuff, I don't expect any payment for that. I mean, unless it's sat down and it's like, oh, okay, you're gonna make R1,000,000, I'd like my fair share of 100K, whatever. But if a friend comes to me on some, hey, I'm shooting something, I want you to be a part of it, if I say yes because I know what I'm going to get out of it, I'm not going to then turn around and expect some sort of payment. And judging from what Xoli said from season 2, she was like, I paid for the photographer, I paid for the Airbnb, I basically paid for everything to be shot, and now Wandy's demanding 500,000 rand. So I was just like, first of all, that's stupid. Wandy's not going to win that case. If nothing was communicated that she wanted money, or it wasn't communicated prior. If she never stipulated that, hey, I want money out of this, then there's no way she's gonna win that case. And even irrespective, you should have raised that up before. But the only thing that might put Xoli on the firing line is if she didn't sign any release forms, I've learned that it's very important to have everything in writing. Very, 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 very important, because people can turn around and say, oh no, I rock with you, and then go on social media and say, I don't rock with her, type of thing. And it's like, but you said you rock with me. Like, what are you doing? So Wandy was very wrong for that. I think that was such a shady move. I think from season 2, when I found out that she was suing Xoli, I was just like, it's really tacky. It's very money driven, and for a friendship to end over something like that is crazy business, because Xoli probably onboarded Wandy for This Body Works For Me, of which in the reunion Wandy was like, you didn't even do this, of which is fair. But let's be honest in saying that, oops, sorry y'all, my phone is not on silent. Let's be honest, guys, Xoli was already well known for This Body Works For Me. The only 2 people who were famous from this cast were Xoli and Nomakuku Samke. Those are the only 2 people who were famous for sex work. Hence why they were on the show. And hence why Xoli had such a big role of bringing all the girls together and navigating, being the glue, being the instigator, being the leader, if I may say that. So yeah, that was a pretty weird thing to watch in season 2. I mean, we already knew that was brewing, but for Xoli not to return was quite like a shocker, but not surprising. I think it's fair to say that because Xoli is already well known in her profession, she obviously doesn't need the money, but she's also going through this lawsuit with Wandy, maybe doesn't want to be around her, and that's fair. You choose your peace. I know I would. If I was Xoli, I would have probably done the same thing. So she was one of my favorites, but she left, so that was a bit of a Debbie Downer to begin the season. And then, now we know Wandy, we know who she is, but for me this season, Wandy is definitely not in my list of favorite people right now. Like, I definitely got put off when she called out Lebu. Lebu being, Lebu now is a trans, I think she's transgender. Where was I, guys? I started sneezing. Yes. So anyway, this new season began with having a transgender woman. And now that's Lebu, right? Now she was the new addition alongside Dion. So the reason why I didn't like Wandy this season is because of what she did to Lebu. And how she basically chastised. You guys know what word I'm using, right? I've got an MBA and 2 awards. Anyway, now, the addition to the squad was Lebu and Dion, but when we talk about Wandy, I think Wandy, obviously at the beginning of the season, I was watching it for her. I felt like she was very real. I felt like I could relate to her, but I hated how she put Lebu on blast. First and foremost, not wanting to refer to Lebu as a she. Lebu has already stipulated that her pronouns are she and her, and then Wandy making some comment on something, okay, Bri, because you're a guy, or something like that. I was put off. After that episode, I didn't even bother watching. Like Wandy, Ndana, like unyanyisile shem in that episode. Like, I don't even want to lie. It moved from being, what are you doing, to this is tacky, and clearly I have no business watching this rubbish. Like, it moved from Wandy uyapeta to uyanyanyisa, dog. Like uyanyanyisa, bro. You know what I mean? I think that's the first thing. That's what switched me off from watching the show, right? So Wandy has definitely been the villain of the season. She's definitely moved down a couple of rankings, but I do feel like to a certain degree, Wandy has been targeted this season, and I'll explain it later. The next person we have is Primadonna, who has given us absolutely nothing. Girl, give us nothing. I don't know how I felt about Primadonna last season. I don't even remember. I don't even watch my previous videos. I don't watch my videos in general. I just edit and post. But Primadonna this season, she's given me the ick. She's giving me the ick for a multitude of reasons. Like, she's been giving me the ick. Like, she's been acting Regina Georgie. And I was just like, I thought I messed with you, but you and that twang. You know what I mean? Like, actually, from the moment when Bubbly tried to reach out to her, Bubbly and Lebu came to come speak to her and Dion in the salon. And she was just acting really weird, and she was acting almost like Ramunenga, Hotokalena. Like, I watched her diary sessions. A lot of them at the beginning of the episodes were very somewhat condescending. Look, I get her. She doesn't want to be around Wandy. Was it Wandy or Gina? Who did she dislike? Wandy, ne? She didn't fuck with Wandy, right? I don't remember what happened between her and Wandy. Oh, yeah, Wandy, she wanted to hit Primadonna. Wandy attacked Primadonna. But I think Wandy apologized for it in season 1. So I don't even know what the beef was now in season 2, right? But I know for a fact that Primadonna wasn't messing with Wandy. And I think Primadonna also wasn't messing with Gina? I don't remember. Anyway, Primadonna is definitely on my bottom 3. Like, she's given me Regina George vibes. She's given me Mean Girl vibes. I'm not with it. I don't rock with it. Like, there's nothing interesting. You've given us absolutely nothing. What I need you to do is go back in the studio and work on that song. Okay? Like, what is that? What is that? Like, what are we listening to? What in the SoundCloud hip-hop is that? Like, why are none of your producers telling you that this shit is a 2-pack of ass? That shit Like, no! No! Primadonna, it's not you. It's not you. I'm not coming for you, yeah. I'm just coming for that motherfucking song. It stinks. Like, that shit stinks. I'm sorry. Like, I know no one was gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it, and the only reason I'm saying it is because you're a mean girl. If you weren't a mean girl, I probably wasn't even going to America, no. I'm not even going to talking like this because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But yo, Primadonna, I shame. You had every opportunity this season to kind of revive yourself, but I think Primadonna choosing to isolate herself from the group and kind of choosing to not be there when she wants to be there, kind of have this kind of solidarity with Dion. No, it's Dion. I think was giving, yeah, I don't want to be a part of the group. I'm just here to be here, and that's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I don't blame Primadonna. I think last year Primadonna was a real target. Like, what was it this year? I don't remember. Primadonna was really targeted, and I can understand the bullying she probably was exposed to, and that's why maybe she took a step back and she was just like, I'm not getting involved, I don't want to be around these people. That's fair, because she was exposed to a lot of bullying verbally, and she was attacked. So if I were her, I would also like just kind of take a step back, focus on myself, and just be about my business. I'm standing on business, right? Standing on that business. But I don't really like Primadonna. Dion, let me actually tell you why I don't like Dion. I did like her. When the season started, she seemed like such a nice girl. She defends her friend, and that's very admirable. I really, really like that. But what I hated was them laughing when Gina and Wandy were going at it. Like, I feel like they share the same traits of having this very mean girl energy. And the reason why I realized that my disdain for Dion is warranted is when she sat down with her former boss at the club. Now, it turns out that the club that Primadonna worked at and got fired at is the same club where her and Dion became friends. And apparently the boss says, ever since you became friends with Primadonna, you've changed, and you know that Primadonna was problematic. So it honestly gives me reason to believe that what I feel about Dion is warranted. I feel like Dion is basically at Primadonna's beck and call, where she is doing whatever Primadonna's doing. She's going with whatever vibe Primadonna's bringing to the table. So if Primadonna's being a mean girl, she's going to rock with that, right? Of which we can't bash her too much for that. That's her friend. Is she a friend of the show? No, she's actually on the show. She's not a friend of the show. She is one of the characters on the show, of which we have to understand, because also in the same breath, Gina's friend Diamond is also Okoya Skembe, in the sense that Leana Diamond is going off whatever Gina's doing and not calling her friend out for that. You know what I mean? So I don't really blame Dion. I can say wait. Like, cast this season man. Go on next. Like, go out next. Let the therapy, let the healing, the world about swadi. Go. Like, it just wasn't hitting the same as season 1, you know? But I will say, this season, I felt there was a whole different dynamic. And when I say that, I say there wasn't a leader and then there were followers. Everybody was an individual and everybody could call shit out when they saw it. You understand? So I kind of was sad that Oli wasn't here, but I wasn't mad about it, because I feel like Oli actually did kind of, you know, she had this very Nicki Minaj Bob's "you all are beneath me" type of thing. So I didn't particularly like that, because that's when you could see that so many things were scripted. A lot of the things in this season weren't as scripted as I felt season 1 was, okay? Of which, funny, ironically, Wandy, but we'll touch on that. Then we've got Diamond, we've got Gina. I don't know, I thought things were going well. I actually like Gina. She wasn't my top 3 favorite people. So like, my favorite people right now is definitely Lebu. I love Lebu. I love Lebu. I'm sorry. Like, skim sub at yo, ngahleka njengosatha. Yo, when Lebu said that, I died, because I feel like mina nje mangihleka njengosatha. Like, ngiyahleka, instigator. I genuinely feel like Lebu brought everything this season. Lebu carried this season. If it wasn't for Lebu's addition, we would have absolutely nothing for the Goyles, right? Lebu's my favorite. Bubbly, I'm very indifferent about Bubbly, but I like her. I think Bubbly's great. I think Bubbly also was on the receiving end of the lashings because of her drinking. But then this season, when we found out that the reason why Bubbly has been going through all this turmoil is because she has a calling, it kind of came full circle. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like Bubbly. Like I have no beef towards Bubbly. I have nothing bad to say about Bubbly, really. She really does live to her name. She really stays true to her name. She's Bubbly. She gotta slow down on the class though. But here's in Bubbly, so them nandik chachi because oko for dating yoguti mina nawe. Sila, sisonke. I would never judge Bubbly for that. I feel like, yes, do I think maybe Bubbly pushes it a smidge too far? Probably, judging from what everyone is saying. Maybe Bubbly does take it a smidgen too far. But I love Bubbly. I feel like she's always been the glue of the squad, always inviting people out. It seems like Bubbly is the one onaling chelete from the group, considering that she lives in Polshof or something. Girl, Polshof! That's where my ex stayed! Hey! Sunning Hill! He knows you. I have no problem with Bubbly as well. I really like Lebu. I'm not really messing with Gina right now. I genuinely thought I liked Gina. I really did like Gina. I think my top 5 was definitely Wandy, Gina, Lebu, Bubbly, and I'm just gonna add Diamond for the mere fact that Diamond is a very good friend to Gina, and I appreciate that. And Diamond also gave us such a raw, honest look, you know, being with her mom, doing the tips with her mom, helping her mom at the house. Like, there was something that's just very raw about Diamond that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? I like her as a person. I feel like even when her friend got bait, I'm shopping Gina. Hey, I saw Diamond shame next day. Yeah, and it was on shy. I'm like, that's a real friend. Like, I always tell my friends, if you tell me that my nigga's side chick is prettier than me, then you obviously hate me. You obviously hate me. Like, there was this other girl that my nigga was fucking with, and not recent. And I was like, guys, is this girl prettier than me? And my friend's like, no, but she was. And I was like, okay, these are real friends. When Diamond was like, yeah, and I was on shy, I'm like, she had every opportunity to slap you and she didn't. I'm like, bam to see take a breeding, ba khokho ba ka yena. Ho bana abaqeta u qhala di ice. Ba sola ka yena di ice tseo. So at which point Gina na tom klapa, because Gina then was playing foul when she threw the bottles. And then you were like, no, Gina, don't throw bottles. And then you were like, yeah, if mina bengzongena lapa. I'm like, girl, run the tape. You literally stepped back and you went to the corner and you stood there in the corner. Yeah, there was some point where I saw you in the midst of all that scuffle when Dion and Primadonna were laughing like the mean girls that they are. When the fight broke out, you moved out, and then the only people who came through to help were you and Lebu. I get that. But let's keep it 100. There was no way you and Gina tag teaming could beat Wandy up. Not even in your best day. Wandy, guys, utswako Israel, utswaka home, guys. I can tell you without a shadow of doubt, ayikho intombazane ephuma east engakhona ukulwa. Ayikho. Next, guys, now I'm from Katlehong. I'm actually not too far from where Wandy's from. So where my parents come from is Hlahati. And my mom, my late mom, she was from Ramkonopi. So let me tell you without a shadow of doubt, ayikho intombazane se east, ayikho intombazane se Katlehong who doesn't know how to fight. There was, even if you guys had tag teamed and you came here and the other one came here, Wandy Natal Shapalili too without any help. She didn't even need the bouncer. The bouncer got in the way. Even Lebu wasn't. They was just I'm like, not even gonna lie. That fight gave the show the opportunity for me to review because I wasn't going to. Season 2 was lackluster. Like, it gave nothing. However, I have to also add the addition that I feel like Wandy was being targeted this season. Wandy became the target. Look, Wandy, I'm gonna be very honest with you and say, if you took a picture of someone drunk and passed out and you took a picture of their genitals, that's not even disgusting, that's embarrassing more. But if you didn't, as you claim you didn't, which I find it hard to believe, but also because it's a show, and because Wandy has come out on multiple occasions on social media, on podcasts, I think Wandy even had an interview with Musa Kawula, where it was Musa Kawula, her, and Gina, and I don't know if it was also Diamond as well. They were sitting down talking about how the show is scripted. I have a very strange feeling that Wandy isn't lying, guys. As much as I want to believe that Wandy is so shady for that, Wandy already lost brownie points when she didn't want to refer to Lebu with the pronouns that Lebu wanted to, you know? That Lebu said, like, these are my pronouns. She literally said, I am a her. So, for you to know that. However, to a certain degree, the picture being taken, I'm not sure if that was just planted or what happened because we haven't seen the picture. There's been nothing showing us about the picture, so it's literally just hearsay. As the viewers, we need to give the benefit of the doubt because even when the show was airing, Wandy tried so many times to alert us that no, guys, I'm not this bad person. So as much as I want to dislike Wandy this season, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because she doesn't strike me as someone who would actively be that vindictive towards someone. I think Oli left, Wandy was the villain, Wandy probably got paid a lump sum to continue being the villain. Primadonna was just not interested, she just wanted to work on her SoundCloud career. Dion, girl, I don't even... Ariana, what is you doing here? You know what I mean? I'm like, Ariana! No, Ariana, ufunanda. You know what I mean? Love Dion, she's gorgeous. She's a pretty girl. A pretty girl who's also a little bit lackluster, giving nothing. I'm gonna be honest, I'm shading you and Primadonna because you're mean girls. You claim, oh, I'm all about that forgiveness, doing tattoos, I spoke to her, da. But you guys are cackling when people are arguing as these good people and forgiving people that you claim you are. So, I don't know, man. Would I cackle too? Probably. Would I be labeled a mean girl? Probably. This is the real world, you know? But anyway, season 2 gave a solid 3 out of 10. Like a solid 3. I really wanted to give them more. I think if I could, I'd move it to a 4. And only because this fight between Gina and Wandy, I don't even know where it stemmed from. Oh, I do know where it stemmed from. It stemmed from when Wandy overheard Gina and... Was it Gina and Diamond or Gina and Dion? She overheard them talking and Gina was telling someone that, hey, Wandy feels some type of way, this, that, and the third. Yada, 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 wop. But Wandy was pissed off at Gina because she overheard Gina gossiping up, oh, apitisa ditaba ho Lebu. Gina apitisa ditaba ho Lebu. You understand? And Wandy was like, as my mates, why are you doing that? You know? So I don't know what Gina's beef was with Wandy throughout the show, but I do want to believe that it was scripted. They were put to be pitted against one another, but at some point it moved from being scripted to being real. Because I was there. I remember when Wandy went off and was posting things on social media because they obviously trended. They made it onto Twitter shows and made it onto shows on the blogs and stuff. So around the time that all that was happening was probably when all the shit was being filmed, you know? And also, the reason I dislike Gina is the shaming. Is like the work shaming. On some, yeah, you're a prostitute. Gina. Girl. You know, my parents always say this funny quote. I can say if you're so tall, you're strong. But about 20 high bone. You understand? So you're going to point fingers knowing good and well you do more or less the same thing. It's all under the umbrella of sex work. Calling someone a prostitute just because you choose to be an exotic dancer, it's just weird. Like it's so weird. And the thing is, I think what upsets Gina, or what made Gina go off, was because Wandy put it on blast on a podcast that actually they're not just strippers. They are strippers who sleep with people for money, which makes them more or less the same thing. And also, it's sex workers, Gina. It's not prostitutes, okay? It's sex work. You're on a show that's supposed to uplift and promote sex work. Like, do I need to teach you guys everything? How does it make you look to go off on another colleague of yours on some, you're a prostitute, you're a fat fucking pig, you're fat shaming, you're work shaming? Nje wena nje unale 31 upatala di 1.5 every week. Koro wana hole beto wena you must shame someone because we're not patala 6,000 rand rente ka khwedi. Soze Miss God. And this is why black men keep telling us to go back in the kitchen and cook, because clearly you see nothing wrong with what you've done. And I really, honestly, I was hoping that you got a lashing on social media. But you didn't even need to get the lashing on social media because you got the little lashing. So it's fine. But you lost all my respect from that point onwards. You lost all my respect. I was just like, hey, what? And the thing is, nobody stood up and said, Gina, soze, wait, Lebu he, so this is why I feel like there was a beef that was brewing between the two. But honestly, they get a solid 3 out of 10, right? So that's it. That's all I'm going to say about This Body Works For Me. Comment down below and let me know if you think I went a tad bit hard on the goils. But honestly, I don't think I did. I think I told the truth as it was. 10 out of 10, baby. And even if you do comment and you think like I'm being biased, it's okay. I've got 2 awards. Anyway, guys, this is the end of the video. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. But until then, we will see you guys on the last few episodes of This Body Works For Me.